You know exactly what you need to do in order to fix your life. Work out, start that business, get a girlfriend, have kids, sleep earlier, eat better. All of these things, they are blueprints that everybody is talking about them online, but nobody is talking about why you aren't doing it. I mean, you know it. You know that you need to do it, but you are not doing it. And the reason is that we are animals. And the main thing about an animal is to conserve energy. When you spend energy, you are most likely to die, okay? And this system is an old system. We are operating on an old software. Everything is not updated because the world around us have evolved so fast, but the software inside of us, the natural software, is the same old software that has been around for 2 million years. And what can you do? In order to update it, you gotta start punching yourself in the face and suffer a bit and see that these things, they make you feel a lot better once you do it. Once you go out and work and you start a business and you take risks and you go out of your comfort zone and you are scared and you don't know what will happen tomorrow and you meet the girl and you are honest with her and she tells you that she loves you and she gives birth to a baby. These are all amazing things, but they happen outside of your comfort zone. And naturally, we are not supposed to go out of our comfort zone. We are supposed to stay in there. This is how we have evolved. Imagine a caveman going out of his cave to a new cave. Why would I do it? I have a good cave. It's working for me. I have nice water nearby. But maybe there is a cave further down, 50 kilometers from here. Why would I walk and risk everything that I've got to do it? And in our days, the comfort zone is so basic and simple, and life outside is amazing and beautiful once you go out and you meet people and you meet the girl and you do all of that. Everything happens once you go outside and you take risks in our life right now. Back then, risks sometimes rewarded you and sometimes they got you killed. And now in our days, risk won't get you killed. They might lose you some money, you might feel embarrassed, you might get rejected, and it's fine. Let's talk about working out. Working out, the simple number one, working out. The body wants to conserve energy. Working out is the worst thing that you can do to just lift stupid iron, okay? Lift iron, move heavy iron. Why would you want to do it? But calories, they're so simple to get right now. You don't have to hunt anything. You don't have to gather anything. You go to the supermarket and you pick up food and there it is. Working out makes you feel better, period. It's a necessity to work out, to do a little bit of sport. I'm not telling you to become super buffed, super ripped. These are things that take a lot of brain capacity, all right? I'm not super ripped. I'm an average guy, but I'm strong. I lift weight, I move, and I feel better about doing it. Even a little bit, take it slow. You don't have to explode on every workout like we see in all the videos. These guys, they are ripped. This is what they do all day. They just work out. And we don't have time to do it, all right? I personally don't have time to work out all day. Stop scrolling before you sleep. This is a hard thing to do because if you just close your eyes in order to sleep, you have to deal with your thoughts right now, all right? And thoughts, most of the time, they are equal pain, all right? Because you are alone, you are in your head, nobody's there to help you. It's just you and you. We avoid the pain, right? The pain of what we think about the rejection we had. We are thinking that we are alone. We are thinking that we don't have enough money. We are thinking that we're not good enough. Very important, before we go to sleep, we process everything that has happened to us. And if you don't do it, you're going to have thoughts from 5 years ago coming up because we haven't processed them. And we will think about them before sleep. And it's good to take time to process them because then, you know what will happen? They will make you a better person because you will see how you acted and you will feel ashamed and you will feel bad. You lie there at night and you think about what happened. Before I met my wife, I got dumped by 2 women. I laid on my parents' floor sleeping, and all I could think about was what the hell has brought me to this scenario. And I processed it. And then I met my wife. And everything was amazing. Save money, all right? Saving money is extremely important. I know people talk about saving coffee, don't spend money on coffee, etc., etc. But I'm talking about understanding how much money we are using on a day-to-day basis and how much money we are spending, and maybe to delay that spend on that car or on that motorbike, or I don't know. Because when you spend money, you feel good in the moment. But if you think about it, when you spend money, you are creating more stress in your life. You are bringing in more stress, because money on its basic level is comforting. Once you have money, you are comforted. You feel good about it. You are not stressed about the next paycheck. Once you're starting to build a small buffer of money to stand on, you will feel a lot better than having a good car or whatever it is that you want to spend money on. I personally spent money on leasing stupid expensive cars and living in high buildings when I was younger, and I was making insane amounts of money. I spent a lot of it on stupid things. And it's better to have the money to feel comfortable and not have stress about the money. This is the number one priority, not have stress about money. And once you understand this on a basic level, on a really, really basic level, that money brings calmness and it removes stress, you will feel good about saving and you will feel bad about spending it on stupid stuff. Start a business. There are a couple of things that are scary about starting a business. Number one is you have to spend money in order to start a business. Business costs money. You are investing in yourself. I mostly know software cost and advertising cost for my end. This is my experience. I don't know other businesses like, clothing and stuff like this. I don't know what happens there. What I know is advertising costs a lot of money and software costs a lot of money as well. When you start a business, you have to pay for them. All right, this is number one. Number two, this is the biggest failure, right? If the business has failed, I have failed too. This is called the fear of failure, all right? When you start a business, you take a risk of failing, all right? And failing means I am a failure, all right? But actually, it doesn't mean that. Even if you started a business, I have started numerous businesses that have failed. Most of the businesses that I've started have failed completely and miserably. You gain a lot of experience and you learn a lot of new stuff about yourself when you start a business. And number three, it removes the what if. If you don't start a business, you can always say, I could have succeeded if I have done this, I could have done that. Once you start a business, you remove this option, okay? You go all in and you take that risk and you take that gamble on yourself. And oh boy, trust me, my friends, once things start rolling and it works and people trust you and you get clients and you talk to people and you convince them and people believe in you and you make your clients happy and you make money to yourself, you make money to them by your services or by the product or by whatever you're selling, you will feel amazing. Being honest, all right, this is, it seems simple, but it's actually quite complicated, and it's very scary to be honest with people because you might lose them and you will be alone. But let me tell you this, when you are not honest and you're surrounded by people, you're actually more alone because nobody truly knows what you feel. I mean, obviously there is a certain feeling from the inside, right? When you're with people and they're not honest and you are not honest with them, something is not 100% right. And it needs to be said. You must be honest with people. It's very, very important, because once you are honest with people and they stay with you and they stick with you, the bond becomes stronger. It becomes more powerful than anything you would have ever imagined. I had relationships, when I wasn't honest, and the women weren't honest as well, right? I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I wanted to start my own company. I wanted to work. And the women that I was with, they didn't like it. They wanted to be with me. They wanted more time with me. They wanted me to have a more stable work. And it just didn't work out, right? And I spent a lot of time with these women, and I felt more alone than I've ever felt in my life. When you go home and you don't have the right environment for you, when you are not honest, right? You're not honest about your actions, you're not honest in your words, you are left alone, and it's very, very hard to be alone. I'm telling you, you sit in the shower and you cry, you curse the world. It doesn't matter how much money you make or how successful you are, how big shot you are. If you go home and you are alone and you have no one to talk to, it's all worthless. This one is a big one, all right? And this one has a certain grasp on all of the other 5. To take responsibility, okay? And once you don't take responsibility, you can blame a lot of other things. And it's basically a permission to stay the same, to stay in the comfort zone, to stay in that cave, right? With the small, nice pond of water and a little bit of fish. Taking responsibility is the biggest change, right? You have excuses, you outsource your pain when you don't take responsibility. But when you take responsibility, you are the leader of your life. You take the change. You make everything happen. All right? It's the sum of all the pains, right? It's the effort. It's the facing yourself. It's the taking the initiative to go out of your comfort zone. It's being honest with yourself, right? When you are taking responsibility, you are honest with yourself. And it's the most important thing, to be honest with yourself. Because what we have, if not ourselves, right, to talk to. Okay, if we lie to ourselves and we break promises to ourselves, I mean, guys, I don't know. You cannot break a promise to yourself. I don't remember the movie, but there is some sort of movie that they discuss that when you break a promise to yourself, it's very, very dangerous. Okay, you know, it doesn't lead to anything good. It doesn't lead to anything worthwhile. At the end of the day, everything that we do not do for ourselves is our fault. If we are not working out, it's our fault. If we are constantly scrolling or wasting time on stupid stuff, it's our fault. If we are spending all of our money, it's our fault. If we are not honest, it's our fault. If we don't do what we want in life, for example, start a business, it's our fault. Thank you for listening to me.